Good morning, my 2H students. Today we will continue our lesson derivative of a function. What is our objective in this video? Our objective is to calculate the derivative of a function that has the form either radical u or u times v, where u and v are two given functions. That means u and v may contain a variable like x. Okay? Let's start by a short revision for the previous rules. The first rule: if the function f of x equals to constant a, where a is a constant belong to set R, that means any constant, then the derivative f prime of x will be 0. For example, if I have f of x equals minus 5 and minus 5 is constant, then the derivative f prime of x will be 0. The second rule: if I have f of x equals ax, that means a number multiplied by x, then the derivative of this function is the coefficient of x itself. For example, if I have function f of x equals minus 6x, number multiplied by x, then the derivative is the coefficient. So f prime of x will be equal to minus 6. If I have f of x equals minus x, what is the number multiplied by x? The number is minus 1. So what is the derivative of f of x? The derivative of f of x, f prime of x, equals to minus 1, which is what? Which is the number multiplied by x. Rule 3, the power rule. If I have f of x in the form ax to the power n, number multiplied by variable raised to power, what is the derivative in this case? Then f prime of x will be the power multiplied by the number, the coefficient of x, and times a times the variable x to the power n minus 1. We will reduce the power by minus 1. For example, if I have the function f of x equals minus 2x to the power 5, number, variable, power. What is the derivative in this case? F prime of x equals to the number multiplied by the power multiplied by the variable raised to power 5 minus 1, because we reduce the power by what? We reduce the power by minus 1. And then the answer of the derivative is minus 10 multiplied by x to the power 4. Rule 4. If I have f of x in the form c of x plus or minus g of x plus or minus etc., then the derivative f prime will be the derivative of each term alone. That means c prime of x plus or minus g prime of x plus or minus etc. For example, if I have f of x equals 4x cubed, the first term, minus 2x squared, the second term, plus 6x, the third term. If I want to find the derivative f prime of x, then I will make derivative for each term alone. That means the first term for x cube has derivative 12x squared. We multiply the power by the coefficient and we reduce the power by 1. Then the second term minus 2x squared, we will multiply the power by the coefficient to get minus 4 and we will reduce the power by 1 to get minus 4x plus 6x, which is in the form ax, and its derivative is the coefficient of x, so it is plus 6. Now we will go to rule 5. It is a new rule for you. If I have the function f of x equals radical u, that means under radical we have what? We have x. It is a function. U is a function. What is the derivative in this case? The derivative f prime of x equals to the derivative of the function under the radical. First, we make the derivative for the function under radical. That means u prime. U prime, this means we made derivative for the quantity under radical. Over 2, this constant is in the rule. 2 radical u. 2 radical u. That means 2 multiplied by the radical itself. The radical itself. I will show this in examples. First, if I have the function f of x equals radical x, we have here radical. You see the quantity under radical, it is x. So, we will remember that if I have a function f of x equals radical u, then its derivative will be the derivative under the radical u prime over 2 multiplied by the radical itself, the radical you have. So here we will have the quantity under radical, we will call it u. So let u equals x. Okay, we will make derivative for this quantity and we will call it sure u prime. So u prime is the derivative of x, which is 1. يعني بناخد الكوانتيتي اللي تحت الراديكال بنسميه يو، يعني اليو ايكوالز اكس وبنعمل له ديريفاتيف، فبصير عندنا شغلتين، اليو اللي هي اندر راديكال اللي هي اكس والديريفاتيف اللي هو 1، وبنكتب القاعدة شو بتقول؟ اف برايم اوف اكس ايكوالز تو what؟ to u prime to what? u prime over 2 radical u. First we will substitute u prime, which is 1. So 1 over what? Over 2. You see it in the rule 2. We write 2, then we will write the radical we have, the radical itself. So 1 over 2 radical x. So the derivative of the function f of x equals radical x is f prime of x equals to 1 over 2 radical x. يعني القاعدة باختصار بنعمل derivative للي جوا الراديكال على 2 multiplied بالراديكال نفسه اللي معنا اياه. Now we have a new example. I have the function f of x equals radical x squared plus 1. I want to find its derivative f prime. First we have radical. يعني بدنا نفترض هيدي الكوانتيتي كلها اللي under radical رح نفترض اسمها u. So if you remember the rule of radical, then we say if f of x equal radical u, then the derivative of f of x is u prime over 2 radical u. So we will suppose that the quantity under radical is u. then u equals to x squared plus 1. The second step, we will find the derivative of this quantity to get u prime equals to x, because the derivative of x squared is 2x and the derivative of 1 is 0. Then we will write the rule f prime of x equals u prime, this is u prime, over 2 radical itself, and this is the radical we have. So the derivative f prime of x equals first u prime, which is what? 2x over 2. 2 over 2 radical x squared plus 1. يعني بنعمل derivative للي under radical على 2 radical نفسه اللي معنا إياه. 2 and 2 will be cancelled and we will get x over radical x squared plus 1. Example 3. We have f of x equal radical 2x cubed plus 3x plus 1. Then we will suppose that this quantity under the radical is u. So u equals to 2x cubed plus 3x plus 1. The second step is to make derivative for this u. We call it u prime and we will get what is the derivative of 2x cubed. It is 6x squared plus what is the derivative of 3x. It is 3 and the derivative of 1 is 0. Now we will apply the rule. Then f prime of x, which is equal to u prime over 2 radical u, is u prime is equal to 6x squared plus 3 over 2 multiplied by the radical we have. Radical 2x cubed plus 3x plus 1. Rule 6 and also a new rule. If I have the function f of x and it is equal to u times v, it is the multiplication or the product of two functions. يعني u contains x and v contains x. And v contains x. What is the rule in this case? Let's see. Then f prime of x in this case equal to u prime multiplied by v plus v prime multiplied by u. يعني بنعمل derivative للu وبنضربها بالv نفسها بلس تاني مرة بنعمل derivative للv وبنضربها بالu نفسها. So we will see this in example. Example 1. Look, we have f of x equals x squared multiplied by 3x minus 5. You notice that we have two functions. You see, this is the first function and this is the second function. Each one we will call them by a letter. The first function we will call it u and the second function we will call it v. So we have u times v. Let's see. This is u, which is x squared, and this is v, which is 3x minus 5. Then f prime of x, we will write the rule u prime v plus v prime u. derivative للأول مضروب بالتاني مثل ما هو بلس الديريفاتيف للتانية مضروب بالأولى مثل ما هي. خلينا نوضح أكتر. افترضنا الأولى اسمها يو يعني اللي هي اكس سكويرد، رح نعمل لها ديريفاتيف دغري، والتانية شو هي في equals 3x minus 5. رح نعمل derivative للأولى ونسميها u prime. What is the derivative of x squared? Yes, it is 2x. Now رح نعمل derivative للv. What is the derivative of v? It is v prime equals, what is the derivative of 3x? It is the 3, and the derivative of 5 is 0. Now we have the first function u and its derivative, the second function v and its derivative. هلا بس علينا نعمل substitution in the rule. So in the rule we will put instead of u prime by 2x. Look, this is u prime multiplied by v. Look, this is v. What is v? It is 3x minus 5. Now plus v prime. What is v prime? It is 3. Yes, multiplied by u, which is x squared. Good. Now we will simplify, only expanding this multiplied by this and this multiplied by this to get 6x squared minus 10x plus 3 times x squared, 3x squared, and we will add 6x squared plus 3x squared to get 9x squared minus 10x, and this is the derivative. Let's now solve another example on rule 6. But before seeing the example, let's remember the rule together. If I have f of x equals u times v, that means f of x is the product of what? Is the product of two functions. And function means they contain what? They contain a variable. Like what? Like x. Okay. Now, if I have again f of x equals u times v, then the derivative f prime of x equals to u prime v plus v prime u, where u prime is the derivative of the first function u multiplied by v itself plus v prime. What is v prime? Is the derivative of v, is the derivative of v multiplied by the first function, which is u. Let's see the example. The function f of x equals to x squared plus 3x into x cubed plus 2. As you see, it is a product of two functions. This is the first function and this is the second function. Because it is the product of two functions, then we can apply the rule number 6. To apply this rule, we must suppose that the first function is u and the second function is v. Now let's write the rule. The rule is f prime of x equals to u prime v plus v prime u. We must find u prime, which is the derivative of u, and we must find v prime, which is the derivative of v. Let's see together. Now, suppose that u is equal to the first function, which is x squared plus 3x, and v is equal to the second function, which is x cubed plus 2. Now we will find u prime and v prime. U prime, which is the derivative of u, is equal to, what is the derivative of x squared? It is the power 2 multiplied by the coefficient, and then we will reduce the power by 1 to get what? To get 2x. And what is the derivative of 3x? It is in the form ax, and its the derivative is the coefficient of x, which is 3. So u prime is equal to 2x plus 3. Now we will find v prime. V prime equals to the derivative of v. And what is the derivative of x cubed? It is 3 multiplied by 1, and we will reduce the power by 1, and we will get 3x squared, and the derivative of 2 is 0 because 0 is constant. Now we have u and u prime, v and v prime. Then we will carry these terms and substitute them in the rule. Let's continue. Now f prime of x is equal, first u prime. Where is u prime? Yes, it is here. U prime is equal to 2x plus 3. Good. So we will substitute instead of u prime by 2x plus 3 multiplied by v. Where is v? Here is v. V is equal to x cube plus 2. And we will substitute instead of v by x cube plus 2. Now plus v prime, which is, where is v prime? Here is v prime, which is 3x squared. So we will substitute instead of v prime by 3x cube squared, multiplied by u, and u is here, which is the first function, x squared plus 3x. So we will put instead of u x squared plus 3x. Now the last step is to simplify f prime of x. To get, first we will expand the brackets. 2x multiplied by x cube, and we will get 2x to the power 4. 2x multiplied by 2 to get plus 4x. 3 multiplied by x cube, and we have 3x cube, and 3 multiplied by 2, which is 6. Plus 3x squared multiplied by x squared is 3x to the power 4, and 3x squared multiplied by 3x is 9x cubed. Now we will add like terms. We have 2x to the power 4 and 3x to the power 4, and their sum is 5x to the power 4. 3x cube and 9x cube, their sum is 12x cube plus 4x plus the constant 6, and here is our derivative. Let's go to a new example. If I have the function f of x equals to 2x plus 1 multiplied by radical 3x. This is the first function, and this is the second function, and f of x is the product of two functions. Then directly we will go to rule 6 that says if I have f of x and it is the product of two functions u and v, then its derivative is the derivative of the first function multiplied by the second function plus v prime, which is the derivative of the second function multiplied by u, which is the first function. So let's suppose that the first function 2x plus 1 to be u, and the second function radical 3x to be v. Now to apply this rule, we must find what? We must find u prime and v prime. Let's calculate them. If we suppose that u is the first function, which is equal to 2x plus 1, and v the second function, which is equal to radical 3x, then u prime is the derivative of u. What is the derivative of 2x? It is in the form of ax, and its derivative is the number multiplied by x, which is 2, and the derivative of 1 is 0 because it is constant. And what is the derivative of v prime? The derivative of v prime, the derivative v prime is the derivative of v, is the derivative of v. And as you see that v is radical of 3x, and this is rule 5. So we will make derivative for the quantity inside the radical. What is the derivative of 3x? Yes, it is 3 over 2 multiplied by the radical itself. So v prime, the derivative of v, is equal to 3 over 2 radical 3x. Let's carry all these terms and substitute them in the rule, which is f prime of x equals to u prime v plus v prime u. Now, what is u prime? U prime is equal to what? Is equal to 2. Excellent. Multiplied by v, and v is what? Is radical 3x plus v prime. Where is v prime? Where is v prime? This is v prime, which is what? 3 over 2 radical 3x multiplied by u, and here is u, which is 2x plus 1, and this is the derivative of our function f of x. If I have an exercise which is f of x equals x multiplied by radical x plus 2 plus 2x squared plus 5x plus 2. Look, here it is a simple one, and this is a simple one, and this is a constant which its derivative is 0. We will have here a rule of multiplication of two functions. So we will suppose that the first quantity, which is x u, and the second quantity, which is radical x plus 2, is v. Now, u is x and v is radical x plus 2. Let's find the derivative of each one. U prime equals 1 because the derivative of x is 1, and v prime is, because we have radical, we will make the derivative for the quantity under the radical. What is the derivative of x plus 2? The derivative of x is 1 over 2 radical نفسه اللي معي, so it is 1 over 2 radical x plus 2. We have v and v prime, u and u prime. Let's apply the rule. The rule said, if we have here u times v, then the rule is u prime v plus v prime u. Here is u prime, so we put 1. Multiplied by v, here is v. Plus v prime, here is v prime. 1 over 2 radical x plus 2. Multiplied by u, this is u, multiplied by x. Let's continue. This is for the first quantity, which is x multiplied by radical x plus 2. We still have this and this and this. What is the derivative of 2x squared? It is 4x, because we will multiply the power by the coefficient and we will reduce from the power 1. And what is the derivative of 5x? It is in the form ax, and the derivative is the coefficient itself. And what is the derivative of constant? The derivative of constant is 0, so we remove it. And this is the derivative of f of x, which is f prime of x. So f prime of x equals to radical x plus 2 plus x, 1 times x, it is x over 2 radical x plus 2 plus 4x plus 5. And we will remember all the 6 rules. Type, if I have f of x is a constant, what is its derivative? Yalla, let's remember together. It is 0. Great. If I have number multiplied by x, that means in the form ax, what is its derivative? Yes, it is a, the number multiplied by x. If I have a multiplied by x to the power n, what is its rule? What is its rule? Yes, it is the power multiplied by the coefficient, and we will raise the variable to the power n reduced by what? By 1. If I have the function f of x equals to g of x plus c of x plus or minus etc., then we will make the derivative for each term alone. طيب, then you rule, whom remember it. If I have f of x equals to radical u of x, what is its derivative? Yes, it is the derivative of the quantity and the radical, which is u prime, over 2 multiplied by the radical itself. So it is u prime over 2 radical u. The last rule for this video is u multiplied by v. If I have two functions multiplied by each other, then the derivative is u prime v plus v prime u. Thank you for your watching.